this, okay? So everyone, I'll send you all a replay when we're finished, all right? But ultimately, here we go. So it's Growing Younger, nutrition coaching back to basics kind of thing. So for the new guys that's obviously joined us recently, I do these nutrition classes once a month. I think it's really beneficial for people. And even if you see the same thing, you know, a couple of times, it's not a bad thing. Repetition is always good to learn anyway. So a bit of housekeeping. So if you're going to be new to the gym and stuff, there's a new keypad outside, and the code is I'm not going to tell you the code because this is going to tell the people public as well, but it's going to be in your trainerized profiles on your training program. It's going to be in there. The code will be in there. Okay. All you need to do, you need to scan and sanitize, and if you've got your double vax, fill out the vaccination forms that I've sent out a couple of times, and we can verify it as we see you as we come forward, right? Which is cool. So people knocking the door now. Bear with me. Sorry guys, in 1 sec. We got the young fella. Come on, the kids come knock for a little boy. Right, there you go. Okay, cool. Nutrition coaching back to basics. All right, so let's just move this forward. Okay, so like what I want to try and instill and teach you guys is literally like positive eating habits. All right, I don't want restrictive diets. I don't think they just don't work. As clear they don't work. We want real food. We want to be eating real food to make a real change. Okay, that's what this is all about. So many of you guys have been on yo-yo diets, and you know, just like I have, and it never works. You end up back the same position as you were when you started, and that just, you know, defeats the purpose of a diet. And what I see is that people are so frustrated when they get joining a gym or joining a new program, is that they will do anything in the short term to lose the weight and try and be healthy, but it's not sustainable. And sooner or later, it becomes too hard, you drop off. So what I teach and what I've done, I'll talk to you about that in a second, is about a positive change for long term. Okay, so I want you, when you leave, to have the skills to be able to do this forever without ever having to pay for a gym or a nutritionist ever again. Okay, that's kind of my aim for you. So a bit about me then is that I've done tons of certifications over time, but I'm not a dietitian, but I'm a certified nutrition coach through a company called Precision Nutrition. It's one of the leading sort of nutrition certifications out there. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't talk about like specific diets per se, but it talks about how to teach, how to coach people in nutrition, because we all know we need to eat vegetables and fruits and all those sorts of things, but we really are able to implement it. So it's about coaching people to implement these things to be better, right? I'm reps registered, which means I come under the governing body of personal trainers in New Zealand. And obviously we need to upscale every single year, so our knowledge is current and factual and progressing as things change, because nothing in the fitness industry, it stays the same, and we need to keep ahead of the curve. I've done certifications in things. This one's called functional agent specialist, which means I've done extra certs on top of my PT and other stuff to be able to teach people over the age of 40 and older to train, because you guys are slightly different as well. And I've done the course in online training as well to be a good online coach as well. So like, this is me, all right? And I hate sharing these photos, but they're good to show. But like, I was really overweight, okay? I'm not naturally fit person, I'm just not. So this was me back in 2009, okay? 90 kilos, very overweight, look way different than I do now. And then I went on a bit of a health journey, and by 2010 I'd lost like, it was a 15 kilos or something. And I did that at home. I didn't do it in a gym. I know when I follow a very strict diet, very strict thing, but I did it. And when I got to 2010, and when I got to that goal, I was like, you know what? What's next? I can't go back to 2009, because that's just not what I want to do. So I continued to kind of, you know, refine the process. And I did what everyone does: extreme, hard out, too difficult, could never maintain it, training 9 times a week, eating next to nothing. And I thought, well, there's got to be a way I can maintain this to move forward. Okay, so I got another photo, 2007. Obviously before this I was heavier than I was there. And then 2013, I kept maintaining. So this 3 years later, I got leaner again, and I was there. And then come 2021, this year actually, I was 80 kilos. But not all of it was, not all of it was fat. I put muscle on over that time. This is like 10 years of training. And 10 kilos of muscle in 10 years is not amazing, but it's not bad. It's consistent process. And that's how it's done. Okay, so that's me. I'm not a naturally fit person. I'm just like everyone else. And I struggled until about 10 years ago, right? So, there we go. Cool. So this is me 10 years later. Okay, and these are the reasons I do what I do. Okay. And what I talk about with you guys, you need to have a positive why to be able to be successful. And if you start off in any endeavor, whether it be, a career or weight loss or health, whatever that is, you've got to have reasons to do it. Because if you're doing it just to, have a smaller dress size, it really is not enough. It really isn't, enough to get you going. I think I got people trying to log in. And if you haven't got that, then you're always going to struggle, right? I'm going to see if I can stop this and admit people. No. People just text me, said they couldn't get in, but I can't see them waiting. So anyway, so you need to have a powerful reason to start. I have conversations with all you guys when you first come in, and you got some amazing reasons. Okay, it's like, I don't want to be diabetic. I literally don't want to have an appetite like my mother. I want to be a role model to my children. I hear this all the time. I want to be able to retire and be healthy and fit and do all the things I want to do. You've got to have that at the forefront of your mind all the time, because if you haven't, it's easy to fall off the wagon. The first thing to go when you get stressed is your fitness. Health and fitness drops off first thing. They can't do it, too busy, whatever the reason is. Okay, you got to get over that, because your health is something that you need to look after for the long period of time. Because if you don't, you're going to be in a bad position. You know exactly what it is. You tell me the reasons why you want to get in shape, but you got to remember those reasons to keep moving forward, right? So for me, I never want to be fat again. That is my overarching thing. I do not want to be fat again. And every time I get tired, or every time life gets in the way for me, it's like, I remember I just don't want to be fat again. I don't want to go back to like I was in 2009, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and I like to be fit now. There's no better feeling than the feeling of fit, and I like it, and I don't want to give that up. So it doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I take an hour for myself 4 or 5 times a week, and I exercise. And it makes me feel good. And we had this conversation in the gym this morning with a couple of ladies. So I personally then, I have to go into self-development. I need to change the person who I am. And I can't be the fat guy and be fit. I got to think like the fit guy, not the fat guy. And so in self-development, you go on a bit of a learning thing, okay? And you got to do this. You got to figure out how to create new habits. You got to figure out, you got to have a how can I mindset, not a how can't I mindset, which I'll go over in a second. I tried every single diet you guys have, every single one. We've done them all. Paleo, keto, Weight Watchers, didn't do Jenny Craig, but I've done them all. And I just figured stuff I liked. End of the day, my goal was never to be fat again, but I will try different vehicles to get there and figure out what works for me, and then I'll carry on doing that. Okay, but the goal never goes. It's the modality that you use to do it will change. And then so at the beginning it was to get a 6-pack. I wanted to lose weight to get a 6-pack. That was the goal. But afterwards it changed. And it's like I'm not a naturally lean guy. It's really hard for me to maintain a 6-pack. It's miserable. It's not comfortable. So it's just to be healthy and be better than I was yesterday. Just be the best I can be. And when you take that approach to it, what happens is it becomes way less stressful, because I know I'm going to be doing this for another 40 years. Do you know what I mean? I'm 42 now. So when you got that longevity in mind, it becomes easy. You don't have to pressure yourself to train 7 times a week. You can do 3 or 4 times a week and maintain what you've got. You can adjust your calories a little bit here and there. So it doesn't have to be a completely crazy focused, short, hard time, okay? I realize it's a lifelong pursuit. And I always say it's like brushing your teeth. You don't brush your teeth once a month when you feel like to clean your teeth. You brush them every day to keep them clean, to keep it maintained. You shower every day to be maintained, It's just like healthy. You're just maintaining, your health and fitness and doing it that way. So lots of courses, train lots of clients, I think we're up to about 500 clients. So I think we've done over the last few years. Fibromyalgia, high blood pressure, obesity, knee pain, back surgery, frozen shoulders, vertigo, you name it, we've done it. And for me, again, it comes down to like, I want to be a role model for my son as well. That's me and Gethin in the gym, be training. That's what I want to be now. I want to be around for him, because that's important. And I got to teach him healthy habits, because we've been handed down bad habits over time. And I tell you, it's like, I saw something the other day when I went through my journey. People say, "Oh, you're boring that you don't drink alcohol anymore." And I was like, "Well, since when is it the norm to get smashed and feel hungover? Why is that acceptable? Why are you different?" And when the majority of people are unhealthy, the majority of people are struggling, but because I don't want to drink alcohol because I want to train in the morning, why am I the weird one? Do you know what I mean? You got to do it for yourself, and if it means that you're not drinking tonight because you want to go to the gym tomorrow, then that's what you need to do, and it's not a bad thing. You feel way better for it. So they're little things, and it's to be a role model for my son. My son has never seen me drunk ever, yeah, and I don't think he ever will, because I don't want to show him that. I don't want to show him that this is a normal thing to do. That's slightly off topic, but ultimately, I want to be with my son to teach him the good habits, so then he never has to suffer like I did. He doesn't have to be 30 before he realizes he can lose his weight. You know what I mean? So teach him good habits, and it'll be good. All right. So let's have a look. Next one. So this is me. I've just lost 6.6 kilos in lockdown. Okay, there you go. Very, very simply, it was not difficult for me whatsoever. Okay, because I know the process and I just stick to the process. So I was up 81.2. And to be honest, it just crept up over the year, and I was training hard, and I wasn't really overweight, but I did have a bit of a belly to lose. And I thought, well, lockdown, I need something to focus on, because for all of us, we need something to focus on. And in lockdown is really difficult. And I thought, right, now is a good time to lose some weight, because I have got a bit of extra time. I'm not in the gym with clients all the time, and and all those things. So this is how I've done it, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. This is how I do it. It's not nothing like magic, all right? So why did diets fail? This is really important. Let's see if I can move this another way. In the way. So why did diets fail? Well, ultimately they fail because changing behavior is so difficult. Okay, we need to change our behavior to be able to change, but our habits are so ingrained for so long that it's really, behavior change is really hard. That is why, like, there's some crazy stat, like 60% of people are overweight. 30-40% are obese. That's even more overweight because behavior change is so hard. And if it was straightforward, obviously you would have figured out. We all know we need to eat more veggies. We all know we need to exercise more. We all know that, but we can't implement it. Okay, and the theory is very different to the practical. So like the gap is psychology. It's like how you think. And if you're always thinking about I don't feel like, then you're not going to do it anyway. So you need to get yourself in a different space when it's like, well, I don't feel like, but I'll do it anyway, because I know my goal is down the track not to be fat again for me. Okay, your beliefs as well. You got to change your beliefs. So if you have been led to believe, and we've got clients here who I've changed their beliefs about nutrition and stuff, is that like carbs are bad for you. If that's what you believe all the time, I'm not going to be able to change that belief. But you got to have an open mind to think, well, actually, maybe cutting carbs out isn't serving me very well because it's too hard and too restrictive. Then you got to change your beliefs. So it's all about being able to be coached, to think differently, to try new things. And like I said, your goal will never change, but the way you do it might. Okay, so all roads lead to the same thing. Emotions, outlooks, all things, right? And the key elements of psychology, behavior change are self-regulation and motivation. I'm going to show you a study in a second, which will do that, and habits, obviously. So, like diet successes, like, this is, I don't know if this is any come out of any kind of like particular textbook, but it comes out of like what I believe and what I've learned over time. Why do they fail? Well, they don't have a purpose. If you just wake up, oh, I need to lose weight. Why? Oh, I just feel like you're not going to get anywhere. But if you go like, I want to lose weight or get fit and healthy because I do not want to have a heart attack and have diabetes. I don't want my son to see bad habits, and I don't want to be fat again, and I want to feel attractive. Way better than just I want to lose weight to fit in some trousers. All right. So your identity, another one, your identity doesn't fit your goal. And identity is a big one. Like for a long time, when I lost all my weight to those photographs, it was 3 or 4 years before I had the confidence to buy new clothes, because my identity was at that time, I am a fat guy. I am going to yo-yo diet. I'm going to put the weight back on. So I was wearing clothes that were like massive, like from a 20 kilo heavier. I had belts wrapping around me like 1.5 times because I just wouldn't buy new clothes. And it took about 3 years for me to change that a little bit. Well, actually, I kept this up for 3 years now. Maybe it's about time I, change my trousers and stuff, and you've got to have that identity. The identity needs to become of the fit person you want to be. And when you look at athletes, and like I've done lots of courses on high performance coaching and things as well. Like those athletes that go into the Olympics, they believe they are gold medal Olympians. They don't believe they're a bronze medal Olympian. They believe they're a gold medal Olympian. They practice in their minds all this stuff all the time. And you've got to think like the fit person. What is the fit version of me doing that the unhealthy version of me isn't? The fit version of you is maybe tracking calories, maybe exercising, maybe getting better sleep, maybe not drinking alcohol, maybe portion sizes, whatever. But you got to think like that person. You can't think like the fat person trying to squeeze us, a round peg in a square hole. Okay. If you're not planning either, or so if it's too restrictive, you're not gonna go well for very long. So many people come to me and cutting out bread. I'm gonna go keto and blah blah blah. Brilliant. Can you do that forever? No. Well, why then? Why even start? Do you know what I mean? Because you're gonna come off it and you're gonna end up a lot of pain, a lot of suffering for no reason. Failing to plan, like everyone that knows me now knows I plan everything. My diary is both to the hour every single day. I know when I work out, I know when I'm gonna eat, I know I'm gonna prepare my meals, I know when I'm gonna do everything, all right? And if you do that, it becomes easy because then you just fill in the blanks, meal prepping, using a meal prep service if you need to, buying healthy stuff in the first place and not unhealthy stuff because you're gonna eat the unhealthy stuff. So it's all about planning and everything else, which I'll talk about. The wrong goals. So if you're like, I don't know, if you're gonna maybe do it for a 6-pack all the time, or to get rid of your baggy arms or whatever, it's probably not a good goal to be aiming for, because the reality of it is you're not really ever going to achieve your dream body and your dream physique. It is just so unsustainable to maintain it. But if you got a really good goal, try and get halfway there, and then you can maintain halfway, and then you can figure that out if you want to go further or more. But you'll get to a point where it fits into your lifestyle. You can carry a couple of extra kilos, it's absolutely fine, but you can be way healthier than you did before. Your workouts are too hard. I spoke to somebody this week, and they'd been to a gym, and they were doing burpees and skipping and all this other stuff, and they got arthritis. Do you know what I mean? And it's painful. How long do you think they're going to last for, without getting injured? So the other thing as well, they just can give up. So you got to find something that you can do that will progress with you, that fits into your lifestyle that you can do. So, and the other thing with nutrition, you never learn about calories as well, and you don't understand why the diet that you've just lost weight on is working. And that's a big one. People try all these different things as if they're magic, but the reality of it is that there's two components that weight loss comes from, which I'll show you in a second. Don't fit in your lifestyles. I had a conversation with Ross about this last week. So he's like been off work with lockdown, and he was doing tons of exercise. I went, that's cool, brilliant, mate, love it. But can you maintain that when you go back to work? And he went, no. I said, well, don't do it then. Don't start something you can't finish, because as soon as you go back to work, you got to figure out that actually I can only do half of what I was doing before. Not saying you shouldn't exercise if you want to, but I'm just saying have a plan around it. If it doesn't fit into your current lifestyle, at the busy times, then maybe you should rethink your plan, and your environment is not helping. So environment would be things like keeping a big sweet snack drawer and lots of alcohol in the house, or whatever. You need to have a good environment. You need to be able to do these things to set yourself up for success. All right. So this is a study I was just talking to you about, right? So like I'm really interested in this kind of stuff. So I thought, well, it's going to be studies on long-term weight loss. Has to be, and there is this one. And I can pop a link down if you want to read it later on. But so the general perception, this is massive. The general perception is no one succeeds in long-term maintenance of weight loss. Crazy how that is a belief. Like people can understand the perception they can lose weight short term, but they accept the fact they can't do this long term, and you absolutely can, right? So research has shown that approximately 20% of overweight individuals are successful at long-term weight loss, when defined as losing at least 10% of their body weight and maintaining it for 1 year. That is classed as long-term success, guys. A year. Do you know what I mean? That's like, come on. We can do better than this for sure. And so people just think, oh, well, I put weight on and I lose it. And I'll probably challenge anyone here. How many of you know people that's lost weight for 10 years or more? Not many. I don't even know many. Me, I'm the only one I know, probably. And it's just crazy. Like, it's just it actually like quite painful to realize that people are always going to fail. The stats are against them. So the National Weight Control Registry provides information around these strategies, the strategies used by successful weight loss maintainers to achieve long-term weight loss. Okay. And this is like people have lost an average of 33 kilos for more than 5 years. All right. So maintain their weight loss. This is how simple it gets. And this blows my mind as well. Members report engaging in high levels of physical activity, 1 hour a day. Really? Is 1 hour of exercise like high levels? I would argue no. I think hours a minimum you should be doing, you know. So anyway, so successful people have lost 33 kilos only exercise for 1 hour a day. Okay, so that's good news for you for a start. They eat a low calorie, low fat diet. Low calories absolutely should be low calorie diet for your maintenance. Low fat is always good as well because there's 9 calories per gram in fat, which means a high fat diet you can eat more calories. Eat breakfast regularly. They self-monitor their weight. So people are not, they get over this being scared of the scales and measurements and stuff. And it just means that if you're tracking your weight regularly, you can notice fluctuations and then you can react to the fluctuations. It's when people don't weigh for months on end and all of a sudden they can't fit into their clothes anymore. You know, it's gone too far at that point. And they maintain a consistent eating pattern across weekdays and weekends, which is a big one because if you eat 1,000 calories Monday to Friday, and then all of a sudden you got 4,000 calories on a weekend. If you add all those calories together, divide them by the average of 7, it'd be more like, I'm not figuring out maths, but it'd be 1,500 calories a day. So if you eat 1,500 calories every day across the week, it's going to be way better for you, right? So the other thing as well is that it gets easier with time, as everything does, and it's the more time and consistency you put into it will become easier. So the longer you do it, the easier it gets. And for me, like after all the 10 years I've been doing it for, like it is so easy for me now. It's like I don't even think about going to the gym and being an effort anymore. I just go and do it. And the expectation for me is I just go and show up. And it doesn't have to be breaking world records or anything. I just need to be doing something. You know, eating every day is not an effort. I eat the same kind of things and I track my calories every day. I just take it in my stride. Right at the beginning, it was hard for sure. I mean, it was a ball ache trying to, you know, type everything in, but once you get used to it, it becomes easy. It's just like anything, all right? So the other thing is that the more people are adhere to their training and everything as well, they have lower levels of depression, disinhibition, medical triggers for weight loss. All those things are way better for you. And like I was talking in the gym last couple of days with some ladies here that, you know, they feel better about themselves when they're exercising. That is what you'd be looking for. You want to be looking for the feel-good factors about doing something positive. And ultimately, it's the pursuit of something worthwhile, the pursuit of being healthy, and the journey you go through will make you happier than the end goal. So like when I got to my 6-pack, it was good, but it was more fun getting there than it was to get there, to have the photograph. And then it was like, well, I can't maintain this anyway, and I put weight back on because it's too hard. But you know, but it was the journey and learning that goes with it, right? So the biggest thing people fail with is accountability. So like if you think about it, there's nothing I'm going to tell you today that you can't Google. You can Google all this stuff yourself and you can go and do it yourself, but you can't do it because you're not accountable to anyone. And that's why we try our best here at Growing Younger as well, to try and keep you accountable. It's really difficult. Like we can't make people do anything. And once people decide to make their mind up that it's not working and it isn't working and we can't change their mind, but we do our best to encourage you. We walk by the side of you and then we give you a push if you need to. But we do our best not to push you too hard. We do our best not to, like, you know, really be in your face about it. But accountability is what's lacking and what people generally need to be successful. All right. So the other thing is challenge your thinking. So when I'm going to talk about some things here, you just got to have an open mind. Take what you like, leave what you don't, but you got to think differently to where you are now. Because if you're overweight and unhealthy right now, it's because the way you're living has got you there. And the way to get past that is to live differently, do different things. All right. And you might, and if I say something and you go, I can't do that, that is a problem. You got to think, right, okay, I don't like what you said. How can I do it? Think of how you can do it, not I can't do it. Okay. And it'll make things better. You got to be coachable. You got to be able to, you know, coach yourself as well. So talk about the 3 layers of success here, or of behavior change. Okay. This is a massive topic in itself, but behavior change is what we want to try and achieve. So you go, first of all, you got your identity. That is who you believe you are. Okay. I believe now I'm a personal trainer, I'm a fit guy, and da 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 da. 10 years ago, I was a fat guy trying to lose weight, and I was a yoga dieter, and I had always been fat, and my parents were fat, and it's just how I was. I don't think like anymore. I've changed my core beliefs around that. And you got to start trying to change your identity. You're not somebody that's trying to lose weight anymore. You're somebody on a weight loss journey who is successful, because if you're doing it every day without giving up, it's successful. That's the way I look at it. Then you got the processes that go around your identity. So you now this person, what are your processes? How are you preparing your meals? How are you exercising? How are you tracking how are you tracking your calories? How are you tracking your calories? Are you cooking? Are you buying food? then you got to come there. Then you got the outcomes around it. The outcomes are just going to be the results. So as a result of, you know, preparing your meals, you got healthy meals now. As a result of planning your week for gym, you go into the gym. And then it's that the weekly outcome goals that you have. So you got your big goal, and you got your daily goals: eating healthy meals every day, going to the gym every day, if that's what it is, sleeping better. They're your daily things that you should just be ticking off. And when you tick enough of these things off, the big goal gets taken care of, because obviously it's the day-to-day process, right? So like some of you know me, some of you don't, but I'm also a police officer. Okay, so full disclosure, I work in the police still. This is my full-time side hustle, which I love to do. And I teach something called high performance coaching within the police, right? And it's basically around about getting people to connect to the why, their business, or the business of the police, and the why. But this criteria was taught to the police by a high performance sports coach who decided to go into business coaching. And what he did was he was helping Olympic athletes essentially perform out of their skins and do really, really well. And he had a very good success rate. And it comes down to three kind of layers, right? Number one, just state of mind. Your state of mind is how you think. If you think you can't do something, guess what? You can't do it, okay? There's a phrase out there: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, because that's what you think. So if your state of mind, if you approach something with a state of mind of I can't, then don't even bother trying, because you're going to think. If you approach something with a state of mind, how can I? Then you're more likely to look for solutions, right? So it's how you identify with your situation. You know, if you start going to the gym, I am now a gym goer. It's something I do. You know, if you say to yourself, I'm not an early person, then you're not an early person. That's your identity. My identity is I'm not an early person. I train in the mornings about 5:15 in the morning. I was not an early person. I am now an early person. Okay, so you can change your stuff around. Hate working out. I didn't used to like working out, but I gradually progressed and got better and worked on goals, and I now like working out. So it's like all those things, you got to change the way you think about things, right? If you say like I can't live without wine, I can't live without chocolate, I can't, then you can't. That's absolutely true. But if you could say, well, how could I live without chocolate? How could I drink wine without drinking wine? And like you see posts on Facebook, I drink this low alcohol, no alcohol, low calorie wine. Brilliant. Just looks the same. Fine. Okay. So the task is too big. If you go like, I want to lose 35 kilos by like June, massive. You know, you can't do that. But what could you do? You could say, well, okay, I'm going to swap out my Coke for Diet Coke. Well, you can do that. Okay, then that's that process. Tick that off. Do enough of these and get better. And what is your why? Why are you doing it in the first place? Why have you joined? Why have you told us all these things? What is it for you? Okay, why do you need to be healthy? And why you need to be healthy for like 5 or 10 years? And you need to come up with this stuff, right? So then you got the middle band: skills, knowledge, and experience. Okay, so the skills are skills like, you know, learning how to exercise properly if you got an injury. A big skill to learn, because people like with no experience or knowledge around health and fitness will think I can only jog or walk and I don't know how to do gym stuff, and then they won't do anything. But if you learn those skills, you know, and that's what we help with, obviously, when you go to a trainer or coach or whatever, that's what we do. We help you with that. Then obviously you're better equipped then to work around things, okay? And then it's the knowledge, it's about understanding. So like when I'm doing these presentations, you shouldn't just take what I say for granted. You should go and look yourself and research a little bit and figure out if I'm telling, you know, if what I'm saying is true and aligns to you, and you build up the knowledge. So you got your mindset, I'm going to do this. Then you look at the skills, then the knowledge, and then the experience comes of putting into practice the skills and knowledge together. It's about action taking. It's about doing action. And then you learn from it. You go, well, like I didn't like for me, didn't like keto. No, I love the idea of eggs and bacon for breakfast every day. But after a week of that, it's like, you know, I'd rather want Weetabix. I like my Weetabix. So it's like, that wasn't for me. But so what can I do instead? Then your performance is at the top, small bit. So you stack it at the top. And ultimately, the bigger your state of mind is, the better your skills, knowledge, and experience becomes, the better your performance. And it takes time. It does take time. So that's kind of the 3-tier approach that we've got, okay? So how do you see progress, okay? If you always think this is an uphill battle, and guess what? It's an uphill battle all the time, all right? Always will be, never won't be, okay? So you got to think of it differently. So this Craig Steele, his name is, a high performance sports coach, told us how he was helping his athletes change their perception on things, okay? And it was a straight line, believe it or not, okay? because this is your goal. You're just walking along a continuum, okay? And you're gonna have peaks and troughs and all this stuff that goes along. But as we already understand, the longer you do something for, the easier it becomes. So this is your why at the end. This is why you want to achieve what you want to do. If you think of it as a nice steady in your mind, instead of thinking this is such a hard battle all the time, put it flat, put the goal in front of you, think of it, visualize that goal in front of you, and just start walking towards the goal. Some steps are going to be shorter than others, might be slower than some days, might be faster some weeks and other weeks, but change how you think about it. It is not an uphill battle. End of the day, weight loss, healthy fitness, it is just a day-to-day thing. You just do what you can on the day. That's it. It's just a straight line. It's going to continue anyway, and that's how you got to think of it. And when he flipped this for his athletes, he found out all of a sudden they were making a lot more personal bests. They were performing better when they were doing it. So ultimately, you got to, it's just a mindset thing of how to shift how difficult things are. And if you always think it's hard, it will always be hard. If you think of it as it isn't that bad and it's just cruising, it'll be way easier. And you can even flip it the other way and make it a downhill line if you want, and think of it, you're going downhill is easier, whatever you want to do, right? But that's kind of get the idea. So we're going to jump into nutrition now, okay? I always want mindset first because, again, it pins everything that we do. If you have the right mindset, you're not going to do it. The nutrition basics is this: calories in, hormones, calories out. So we got so many people here that have they've been through illnesses like cancer, and they've maybe go through menopause or thyroidism, all those things, okay? It still doesn't change the equation of calories in, calories out. So if you've got a high functioning normal body, if you take in 2,000 calories and burn off 2,000 calories, your weight will maintain the same. If you take in 2,500 calories and only burn off 2,000 calories, your weight's going to go up. But what your hormones do, they kind of change the processes inside, okay? So it may lower the amount of calories that you need to eat, which means that if you were somebody on a normal being, could take in 2,000 calories a day, your hormones may sort of say, well, actually, your body isn't running optimally right now, and actually 1,800 calories is all you can eat to maintain your equilibrium. So therefore, you got to adjust your calories in, okay? So the formula always works, and this thing in the middle will change it, but it's still ultimately what you take in comes out, okay? And like I've worked with lots of people within the Growing Younger and before that with these issues, and they still lose weight because we track our calories. And when you track your calories and portion size and all those things, you learn so much about what you're doing. And it's like, you don't have to cut bread out and alcohol out. You may have to lower your budget. So if your budget for food has gone from 2,000 to 1,800, then that's fair. But then you've got to find out ways to remain full and satisfied within those lower budgets. And with exercise, you can enhance it. So if you're 2,000 calories just surviving, if you exercise a couple of times a week and you burn off 1,000 calories a week exercise, then you've got a little bit of extra room to eat a bit more food as well. Not obviously the full amount, but it gives you some room to move, if that makes sense, okay? This is always true, will always be true. There is no else about it, okay? And then your food will have different things I'll talk about. So when you talk about diets, okay, I just want to say, like, why do these diets work? Well, every single one of those diets there puts you in something called a calorie deficit. So when we go back, your calories are reduced compared to what you eat, right? So a keto will cut out carbs. If you cut out 300 or 400 calories from your carbs every single day, then these 300, 400 calories are gone. The weight loss that comes with keto is water, because carbs need water to metabolize, and that's normal at all. It's fine. But ultimately, it's reduce your calories. If you go paleo, similar to keto, you reduce your calories. Intermittent fasting. If you eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then snacks at night, then all of a sudden you don't eat breakfast, don't eat your morning snack, and you don't eat after 7 o'clock because you're fasting. There's 3 opportunities that you're normally eating that you're not taking those calories in anymore. So you might reduce your calories by 700 calories a day just by doing that. Puts you in a calorie deficit, you lose weight. Vegan. If people go vegan and they stop eating meat and eating plants instead, sometimes they lose weight. Low carb, same thing. Weight Watchers have got a point system. So they interpreted calories and put them into points. And you have so many points, just like calories, then you lose weight. Jenny Craig is portion control. Juicing. You're just going to drink juice all day long. Of course, you're going to lose weight because you're going to go to the toilet all day. A balanced diet is the same. Like I'm always about balance. If you go into portion sizes and balance and bring your portions down a little bit, you're going to lose weight. They all work, okay? They all work to a degree, but you got to find one of these that works for you, and then you're going to be sweet. So I'm going to quickly go over protein, okay? Everyone knows protein is good for you. It is. So a couple of things about it. It promotes muscle growth, okay? So when we're getting older, in particular, and our metabolism kind of drops a little bit because you've got less muscle on the body, then protein is important, especially if you're training and exercising, because the idea is to increase your muscle size and capacity and all those things. And protein will help with that, okay? It also has got a high satiety rating as well. So protein keeps you fuller for longer, okay? Which is a good thing. And I've had people eat extra protein and go, I can't eat that. So why not? I'll be full. Well, I know that's kind of the idea, we want you to be full and you're on less calories. I know, okay, and they get in the end. The other thing as well, the TEF means thermic effect of feeding. So when you eat a protein source, 33% of the calories from that protein source goes towards digestion. So if you have 100 calories of protein, 33 calories is going to go to digestion. Okay, so your body will speed up to process it, and you burn more calories in digestion, which is a really, really good thing, right? So it's going to speed your metabolism. The building blocks of your body, everything, hair, nails, skin, everything, and muscle, of course. But protein is a building block of your body, and you must eat more protein. For the people with like the menopause and all that sort of thing, one of the first things to reduce is bone density, and extra protein will help build stronger muscles. When you combine that with weight training and resistance training, you're going to make those bones stronger. So when you do get older, and if you were to fall over, you're not going to have a life-changing event like a broken hip or a femur, which is going to put you out of action. And I've seen it personally with friends, family, and things. I've seen it listening to our clients, and they've said their mum's fallen over and this has happened. This is a big deal. All right. So if you can, the earlier you can start this, the better, because these are the issues going to have down the track. Also, protein, 4 calories a gram. So it's quite low in calories as well, which is good. And there's lots of different variations, plant proteins and animal proteins and all sorts. Okay. Then you got carbs. Okay. People often demonize carbs because they just think they make me fat. But in reality, carbs do not make you fat. It's too many calories make you fat. And carbs, there's a process called de novo lipogenesis, and you can Google it if you want, but it is the process of converting carbs to body fat. It's a very difficult process. And the only time it will ever happen is when the body takes in too many calories. That is the only time it happens, because all of a sudden your body, all this extra energy, it doesn't know what to do with. So it's got to go through this process to then store it as fat, because carbs and fat are different. It's a process to go through. It's a hard process. So you're not going to convert carbs to fat unless you're eating too many calories overall. It's also the body's main source of energy. But also, apart from that, realistically, we're surrounded by carbs as well. I eat about 300 grams of carbs a day. It's tons of carbs I eat, and it's like, I don't put any weight on. It's fine because I know my calories and I know my budget. But everywhere is carbs. So if you want any kind of normal life, really, carbohydrates are going to have to be in your diet at some point. You can't get away from it. And I see people all the time go on keto, and they do it, and they go to a party on the weekend, and they're drinking wine and all stuff's in. And obviously, because now you've taken in carbs and it's taken in water, then obviously you weigh 2 or 3 kilos more on a Monday than you did on a Friday. And then people get all freaked out about it. But actually, it's the process. It's fine. But if you haven't got a lifestyle that is conducive to no carbs, then you probably shouldn't go that route in the first place. Okay. They taste amazing as well. God, we got to live, haven't we? You got to eat stuff as well. So the TEF is 15%. So there's a slightly lower digestion process than protein. But if you got a really high fibrous carbohydrates, then the TEF will go up a little bit as well. So fiber's got the same thermic effect as protein, very hard to digest, and protein sits in the middle. If you've got carbs in your diet as well, it's way easier to stick to diet as well. And again, they're 4 calories a gram. So they're actually low calories as well. All right. Then you got fat benefits. So many benefits of fat. Promotes vitamin absorption. The vitamins D, E, K, and A need all those. They need fat to be absorbed. So if you go no fat, then it's hard to absorb those vitamins. Again, satiety wise, a high fat it keeps you fuller for longer as well, which is really good. Promotes hormone health. So all a big wide variety of hormonal issues, fat will support that. But it's 9 calories a gram, so it's like 2 and a bit times more calories than carbohydrates. Okay, so you're gonna be quite sparing with your fats. Alcohol, okay, the only benefit gets you drunk, pissed, whatever, and that's it. There's no other benefit to it. It's poison. Alcohol is poison in your body, essentially. That's why it makes you sick. That's why it makes you ill. That's why it makes you do things you shouldn't be doing. But it's got a fairly high TEF though, so it's got like 22% of the calories go into digestion is 22%. And the reason that is because it's a poison. Okay, so when you drink alcohol, your body, the first thing it tries to do is get rid of it. It tries to metabolize it out of the way. So you know, a lot of those calories that you drink from alcohol will go into digesting and getting rid of metabolizing the alcohol. But ultimately, like, you know, we don't stop at one beer. We have 5, 6, 7 beers, you know, or whatever it is. So, you know, that TEF is way offset by the quantity you drink. Helps in social situations, makes your partner more attractive. Not many benefits to it, right? So, yeah, don't drink too much. So, the simple weight loss, weight gain equation, all right? Now, this will vary for lots of people. So for me, like, I can't reduce my calories by 400 a day, because if I did, I'd be starving. It's just not going to happen. So I'm smaller than I was. So when I'm starting off, though, when I was way heavier, I could do that. But as you go down, you can't reduce your calories in massive amounts, because you just can't deal with the hunger. It's too hard. So for most people coming to us, I think, like I keep stats. The average female that comes into us is about 100 kilos. Okay. Usually shorter than me as well. So they got about 30 odd kilos more than me. Okay. So for those people, you can really get away with this. You can drop weight very, very easily, because physiologically it's easy to lose weight when you're that heavy. But ultimately it comes from two things. Okay. If you do more activity, so when you look at cardio, low steady state cardio is the best thing for you to be doing to lose weight. An hour walk a couple of times a week, up to 150 minutes, is gonna be perfect. But if you're not doing anything right now, 150 minutes is a goal. It's not where you should start. Start at 30 minutes a week if you need to, and then build up as you go, right? So this is all a scale of progression. If you're already exercising, work a little bit harder. An example would be that if you walk for an hour and you can't really walk for 2 hours anymore, then maybe jog for an hour instead. Okay, so obviously the increasing the intensity of the work will burn more calories. Use a step counter. So if you're only doing 2,000 steps a day, try and get 10,000 steps a day. Use a smartwatch to track some of this stuff. Do resistance training. How to pull out 200 calories from your nutrition. We'll swap out a high calorie food for low calorie food. So instead of using sugar for baking, things like that, use a no calorie sweetener. Save you a bunch of calories. Okay, lots. If you're going to choose beef or chicken, choose the chicken breast, because it's got way less calories. So you can save calories by doing that. So I make these like chicken mince lasagnas basically, and I save like 1,000 calories off a portion just by swapping the meat out and doing everything else the same. So you know, these are the little things that you need to be thinking of. Decreasing alcohol, a big one. You know, we have some people that drink lots of alcohol through the week, and probably some people will drink 1,000 calories a week of alcohol. So if you just reduce that a little bit, you're going to be way better off. Tracking the calories as well, the big one to even know where to start with this stuff. Track your calories. You can do hand portion sizes, which I've spoken about before, and use calorie. So like another one you could do, like if you drink pop all the time, you could drink low calorie pop. Okay, maybe not be good for your teeth, as somebody pointed out to me before, but you can't have it all. Just come back on this. Flip excuses into solving problems, right? Very much of, I can't do this, how can I do this? That's really, like, if you take nothing away from this whole presentation, think in this space, okay? And things will be easier for you, for sure, okay? Way better. All right, quick step. So we're going to talk about habits now. It's important. So there's, unless you've ever read a book on habits, you're probably not even going to think of it, but this will make sense, okay? So there's a habit loop that we go through, okay? This is a habit. If something will happen, a cue, okay? So if you're a nail biter, all right, you'll have a little bit of start picking the edge of your nails, and it's like a bit of a feeling, and start nibbling. So the cue is the tingling in the fingers. The routine is biting. The reward is the satisfaction of you biting the nail off, okay? And then if you're chronic nail biters, like my little boy does, he bites his nails, and my father bites his nails, bites down to the quick, like, it's really painful, and it's really hard to break the habit. Same with anything that we do, exercise. So if you were like, so let's say your routine at night time is that you come in from work and you sit down. You come in from work, the cue is I need to sit down. The routine will be sitting down because you're tired. The reward is you're relaxing, okay? So you can flip this around the other way. So like for me, and like use myself an example, is that when I plan my workouts out, my alarm goes off, that's the cue. The routine is the same thing every morning. I get up, I have a coffee, have a big glass of water, then I go to the gym. The reward for me is doing a workout. I feel good after the workout. So this is how a habit will flip. And you'll all have very similar stories of what you do in your life, right? And I'll read this out to you. I'll read this to all our newbies because I think it's brilliant. The habit poem, okay? This will like really hit home for you guys, okay? I am your constant companion. I am your greatest helper or your heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down to failure. I am completely at your command. Half the things you do, you may as well just turn over to me. And I will be able to do them quickly and correctly. I'm easily managed, but you must merely be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want something done, and after a few lessons, I'll automatically do it. I'm the servant of all great men, and alas, failures as well. Those who are great, I've made great. Those who are failures, I've made failures. I'm not a machine, but I work with the precision of a machine, plus the intelligence of a man. You may run me for profit or run me for ruin. It makes no difference to me. Take me, train me, be firm with me. I will put the world at your feet. Be easy with me, and I will destroy you. Who am I? A habit. So, I will destroy you. Do you know what I mean? That's a massive thing. Your habits will either make or break you for sure. And if you've always got a habit of I can't, it's too hard, that you've got into this habit. And when you're over 40, you've got 40 years of it. Do you know what I mean? So you got to try and break that cycle. If you want anything different, you've got to do something different. Like for me, like, I got the habit of exercise now. 30 years, I wasn't. I had to change it. I had to learn it. It's hard. And as I say, as I did a video the other day about choosing your hard, you got to, it is all hard. It is hard to do nothing and be sick. It is also hard to take action and do something as well. It's hard. Choose it. Which one you're going to have, and that's what you got to look at. So, habits are super important. You got to train these habits and you got to do it. And it starts off with a bit of discipline. It starts off with having a goal and a why and a mindset shift and everything else. But ultimately, that's what you need to change, right? And then it comes to this small domino effect. One little habit will knock into another bigger habit and a bigger habit and a bigger habit. So when I say to people, start off small, it seems really insignificant. So if I say swap out sugar for sweetener, what's the point? Doesn't do anything, but it does, because that little change will give you the confidence to make another change, which is a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. All of a sudden, this domino is moving big things, all right? And it really is that small. And it could be like, you can break this down. And I've had a conversation with somebody about this before. If people say, I can't get up early to go to the gym. All right, cool. What do you mean by that? Well, I can't get up an hour early. All right, cool. Can you get up 1 minute early? They go, yeah. We'll get up 1 minute early then. And then the day after, do 2 minutes early. Over the course of 30 days, you're up 30 minutes earlier than you were. See what I'm saying? How small that change would be. So the smallest thing that you do is set your alarm for 1 minute earlier. That's it. That's the goal. That's the small domino. And then once you get to that 30 minutes and you're up, okay, I need to go for a walk. Well, I can't do a 30-minute walk. I've got time. Okay, do a 5-minute walk then. Just got, okay, 5 minutes, then 6 minutes, then 7 minutes. And all of a sudden then, you've gone from not being able to wake up early to waking up 30 minutes early, to not exercising, to doing 5 minutes, to doing 10 minutes, to doing 20 minutes. And you can see how over time, that will really serve you. And if you were to make 12 habits a year, okay, once a month, your life would be a night and day difference to what it is right now, for sure. Okay, and you can all see that. So, and like I said, all you have to do, if weight loss is your goal, all you have to do is reduce your calories by 200 to 400 calories per day. That is it. That is all you need to do. Okay, you just gotta start off with a small process to move forward. All right, and we'll help you with all this stuff. So what does that look like? What is a small goal? Well, let's have a look at it. So, habits, process, and skills. Meal prepping. If you were just get up in the morning and have no idea where your next meal is coming from, where it's going to be, then you're going to fail straight away. You've got to make some effort to meal prep. And I talk about, like, we use a company called Swole Foods, which are calorie controlled meals that, I don't talk about all the time. I usually tell people when they need it, but that, you can choose a meal company to give you meals if you want. HelloFresh will do the same thing if you provide your portions. Learn to read food labels. Eat till you're 80% full. Track your calories. track portion sizes, get 8 hours sleep, learn to cook, research healthy recipes. And it's interesting, one of the biggest things that people ask me is about, have I got any healthy recipes for them? And I got loads of recipes, but I get them from the internet. I type in healthy recipes that are 400 calories and tells me everything I need to know, and then I just send them the links. And it's like, you know, people could do that themselves, but they just not thinking in the right space of how can I do this. And there's no magic foods. And I think, and I was the same. I was exactly the same. I used to always look for the next special recipe. But actually now it's like, well, it's just food. There's no good and bad foods. It's just calories and low calories. Things are better than others, I'm sure. But, you know, we got to start somewhere. And for all of us, our lifestyles are different. And we can't just eat, you know, chicken, broccoli, and rice all day for the rest of our lives. It's not how we're built. But we can control how many calories we eat, okay? I don't drink my calories anymore. Okay, that's a big one. So I don't drink like calorie pops and stuff. I prioritize things. I prioritize my workouts. I prioritize my meals. They're really important. I used to create a menu for myself. So over the course of 5 days, I would write down a menu. I used to know that. I don't do it anymore because I don't need to. I make decisions in the moment. So like, I'll give you an example. I was rushing my backside off this week, and I didn't take anything. I went out to Pontchev to meet a client out there. And I came back, I was starving, and I popped in the garage and I went straight to the pastries. I was like, I'm gonna have a pie. And I went in there and I stood there for a second, and I was like, no, I'm not having a pie. I went back and I got myself a Diet Coke and I got myself a big protein bar. And I went off and did it because there was nothing else healthy that was there. I was hungry, and I made the decision in the moment, and that's what you have to do. Make a better decision. I don't really buy junk anymore. I always remember my goal. This is it. You write a goal card, write it down, whatever you need to do. Okay. So we need to know, we all know this, okay? Human behavior follows the law of least effort, okay? Like electricity, follow the path of least resistance. We will all naturally gravitate towards the option that requires the least amount of work, okay? We all know it. We all do it. I do it. We all do it. But but the thing of this is you're in control of what you do as well. So you can think of how not to do it. So try not to always pick the easiest thing, because it's not always the thing that's going to serve you very well. You need to create an environment where doing the right thing is easy. What does that look like? It could be ditching your junk. Get rid of all the crap in your house, chuck it out, and then go to the supermarket the next day and buy healthy foods, buy fruits, buy vegetables, all those things. So when you're at the moment of weakness, the opportunity isn't staring in the face to eat what you should be eating, okay? And like, I'll challenge you, it's so easy to sit on the couch at night time and to eat chocolate and snack on bits and bobs and crisps and all those sort of things, as we all do it, okay? But if all you've got in the house is fruit, I guarantee you're not going to smash your fruit bowl, okay? You might have an apple and a banana and an orange, and then you'd be done. And then you'd be fully satisfied, and you've eaten like 30% of the calories you would normally hoover down if it was anything else. So create an environment in your house. Like, you know, get your gym gear ready, get a bag ready. It's all the little things that you can do to have success. If you're somebody that, you know, works and you go home, don't go home first, go to the gym first, or get up early and do it first. Whatever you need to do, but create an environment for yourself, whatever that is for you. Okay. So reduce the friction associated with good behaviors. So when friction's low, habits are easy. So like an example would be, if let's just say you got bad teeth and you need to learn how to floss, they call something called habit stacking. So you already do something and you had something else on top of it. So if you like brush teeth but don't floss, right? You could habit stack and go, well, I'm going to brush my teeth, and then right next to where my toothbrush is a floss. I'll floss straight after. So it's just a habit on another habit. And then you do that enough longer, all of a sudden now you brush teeth and you floss, and then it's like, don't even think about it anymore. But if you have to really think about it, when I need to floss, when I'm going to do it, or I'll try and do it tonight or in the morning, you got to think of these other things. And there's lots of ways you can do this habit stacking, whether it be going to the gym. So for me, like, I started doing more cardio because I wasn't doing loads of cardio. So my habit stack, if you like, is a jog on top of a walk. So I'll go out with the expectation of just going for a walk, because I don't really like the idea of having to gear myself up to go for a run. So I reduce the friction. I like walking. I put my earphones in, I go for a list, I go for a walk. And then I'll decide, I might just go for a jog then. So when I start going, I'll go, I'll get back a bit quicker and I'll jog. So the habit stack for me is just going for a walk. That's the only expectation I've got. And if I do a walk, it's cool. But if I decide to run, I run, and it's fine. And it's all good. So you got to break down the friction with all this stuff, right? What else? What other examples could we use? you know, if you're going to make, I don't know, pizzas for argument's sake, you know, instead of buying the big pizza bases, I use wraps instead, lower calories, make a pizza on the wrap. It just doesn't take a lot of thought. It's still making a pizza. You're just using a lower calorie base, just a habit stack. You just do exactly the same thing with a slightly different recipe guide, right? And primary environments make actions easy. So I have things in place, have things in thing. Don't buy junk food. I always say this, you know, get rid of the alcohol if you need to, so you're not just going to default to it. And make your environment something that's going to help you sort of do well. All right. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna talk about this. Okay. So like with these sessions, I want you to take action on them. I don't want you to listen to me and go, oh, that's brilliant, and then forget it tomorrow. Like, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you, I'm going to pop in the group anyway, something called a welcome pack we do for our clients. Okay, so in fact, I'll stop the share and I'll show you what I want to show you. So this thing here, okay, this thing here, some of you may have seen it, some of you haven't, and I'm going to pop it in the Facebook group and the training group. Okay, and this is a bit of like a bit more of an action taking kind of document. So put it together. There's lots of stuff in there, lots of bump about kind of similar to what I've talked about already. But what I want you to do is come down to this bit, okay, and set yourself some goals. All right, set some health goals that you want to achieve. The bigger goals, okay, so lose weight, all those things. And if you go one of us as trainers as well, bring it to your next session, or if you've already got it, then revisit it, and we'll discuss what these goals are. Then write a little paragraph. Why is it important to me? You need to, you know, you might know, but until you write it down on paper, read it, then you don't really know. Okay, when you write something down, it's very easy. You know, it becomes real, it becomes tangible, right? Then you're gonna write in your self-limiting beliefs. So self-limiting beliefs are like, I can't do something for whatever reason. All right, and then write it down. Why can't you do it? What is limiting you to do this thing? And then we can work on this stuff together. Or work on it with yourself. If you approach it with a how can I mindset, it's going to be way better for you. Okay, and then go through it all. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just got to go write it down. Okay, and then you're going to set yourself some goals. Okay, like month one. What are we going to achieve in month one? And you got to specify on this day, at this time, I will do X activity. Write it down. Remind yourself. Put it in your calendar. Set alarms on it on your phone if you need to. Whatever. If one of our trainers, if you're with us as well, let us know, and we can add this to your training app as well. So you'll have this habit pop up every single day to do it, and we'll discuss it with you, right? But pick something and work towards it, and then this will go on and on, right? And understanding like it's your responsibility as well. You know, you gotta take ownership of this stuff as well. And when people talk about accountability all the time, you got to take responsibility for your own accountability sometimes. And the coach is there in the capacity to help you and nurture you and give you advice, but it's got to be some personal responsibility to it. And all of you got some like massive goals, and the reasons are like, sometimes I listen to the reasons that people tell me, and I get a lump in my throat because it's so like emotionally driven that I can feel it, but it is so easy to forget them and they're not written down. You know, in the moment it's easy to do, but you know, this is why you need to do this stuff. It's really important, right? Habit poem. And the other thing on the back of this as well, go down here. So we're talking about portion sizes. A really good reference guide for you for what proteins are, what carbs are, what fats are, what a good, bad. It's like the traffic light system, like old Jacinda's put us on. But we want to be in green, okay? You want to be eating this stuff. And then carbohydrates. These are the best options for you. These are not so good. And then at the bottom, you've got a fruit guide. So when you talk about dieting and things like that, hunger is a big deal, right? And like when you have one serving of 100 calories, a watermelon, and if you, depending on where you read and whatever else, let's again keep your mind open. Watermelon's high in sugar, okay, cool. But ultimately, it's for 330 grams is 100 calories, all right? 100 calories for 300 grams of food, okay? If you had 2 portions of 200 calories, you'd have way over half a kilo of food in your belly. You'd be full, okay? But if you eat a 12-gram chocolate, it's 75 calories. You can smash 10 of them without even thinking, and you've had 750 calories or whatever, right? So, you know, this is about and it's a really good reference guide. So when you're shopping, pick up the fruit. for me at the minute, pineapple's my thing. Oh, love it. Breakfast is pineapple and yogurt at the minute. Loads of it. 200, 300 calories, brilliant. But it's just me figuring out what I like and what I don't like, and it'll be the same for you. Then you obviously got your vegetable guide as well. So if you find yourself hungry a lot, then have a challenge to you would be have 100 calories of vegetables. So whether it be, say, zucchini, well, 100 calories of zucchini is 500 grams of zucchini, is half a kilo of it. You're not going to eat half a kilo, you'd be full. So that's good. So have 50 calories of zucchini then. Do you know what I mean? So this is how you're going to bulk up your meals and make them taste nice. And then you figure out how ways to cook them. Then you go, right, well, how can I make it taste better? A little bit of olive oil. It's 9 calories a gram. Okay, 9 calories. Brilliant. Sort of doing to do, right? These are really good reference guides for you to look at moving forward, all right? Let's go back into this. There we go. So then we talk about so how are you going to implement this stuff moving forward? So a really good cue. So when you talk about your habit, a cue, routine, and reward. Like I got alarms on my phone. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll set an alarm, meal prep, and then it's just a trigger to remind me. Okay, I need to go and do that now, and then whatever. Then reward yourself. So you're thinking like you gotta pat the dog a little bit. If you do something good, reward yourself. This is a good feel good process. So what is it? Well, if you want to sit down all Sunday afternoon and watch TV because you've had a busy week, by all means do it. But do something good first. Prep your meal for the week. Then you can sit down. It's a nice reward. You've done something positive. You did the routine. Now you're going to get to sit down and do it. Okay. Create a diet re-entry in your gym or Google Calendar. Make it have a delicious protein shake. I use protein powders. I love them. I make them with berries and bit of vanilla essence, and just make them taste nice. With low calories. It's a really nice reward once you finish. If you got a sudden urge to binge, okay, and like being an ex-fat guy, I like that. I used to just like, I just want to eat as much as I possibly can. So I'll wait 10 minutes now. I'll think about it. I give it 10 minutes. I'll have a big glass of water first, then I'll have a fruit bowl because I know I could have 300 grams of pineapple for nothing, and I'm full and I feel satisfied. Lots of things. These are lots of ideas. These are not exhaustive lists. So when you talk about so habit stacking, the big one. So like I say, people get track their calories and stuff, and some people like it, some people don't. Some people find it really hard, but it's a habit stack, isn't it? So you go, okay, before a meal, get into the habit of I'm gonna eat something, pull out the phone, scan it. Let's see how many calories is in it. Then you're gonna make a choice of whether it's gonna be good for you or not. Then you track it. Then it becomes a habit. So for me now, I just literally, when I'm making food, I got my MyFitnessPal next to me, open, and I'll do what I'm doing. I'll just tap in as I go. I don't even think about it. It's no effort anymore. It's just what I do. And that's kind of what I want you guys to do as well. So a poor preparation plan is poor performance. But if you don't plan anything, nothing's going to get done. Okay, it's all about action. It's all about taking action, small action, like a domino effect, move forward, and you've got to do it. This is how I do it. I put it in my diary. Okay, so I got my gym sessions here, working there, clients, look after a young fella there, whatever, family time is all in there. But you've got to do it. You've got to plan this stuff out so everyone knows what's going on. You know from one day to the next. And sure, you can move this stuff around. It's all for you can modify it if you need to, but have it in there as a rough guide so you know on a weekly basis when you're exercising. You know when you're going to make your meals. You know when you're going to do your cardio, whatever that is. All right. So plan it in your diary. This is another good one, like containers and food prep. So if you've got if I use this mug, my Spider-Man mug all the time, okay, and I know that holds a cup of something, then if I know it's a cup of rice and I've weighed it before and I know it's a cup of rice, and I don't have to keep measuring it all the time. I just go, this container holds a cup. Do you know what I mean? It makes it so much faster. So if you use these containers to do that and use scales in conjunction, you can weigh it once, and then the next time because you've just done it, then everything becomes consistent. So we want consistency. It's not like using a cup of rice or another a smaller cup of rice. It's different. So get used to understanding what containers weigh what and everything else. I use these bento boxes. These are cool. So when I'm preparing meals and stuff, my veggies will go in the big one. My protein and the carb will go in the other two if I'm going to do it that way. And then it's the same every day. I don't even have to worry about weighing stuff all the time because I kind of roughly know what it is. Scales are going to be a go-to. The weigh food, 30 grams of peanut butter is like 180 calories, but you wouldn't be able to eyeball it. It's a big spoon or a small spoon. All this stuff you gotta look at. Use a slow cooker. Use spices. Make things easy for yourself. Use a George Foreman grills. Okay, all this stuff will help you down the track. And then again, I say, like, don't buy those foods. And I can hear people going, oh, but I just have to buy it. Well, and that's fine. I can't change your mind. But if you're gonna go to the supermarket, like, have a plan as well. Again, plan it. And if you stick to the outside of the supermarket, okay, you will literally buy all the stuff that you need is going to be there. All your fruits and vegetables, minimally processed stuff, and dive into the middle bits if you need to, okay? Don't just drill up and down and then you're picking the sweets and the crackers and all the lovely stuff in there. Stick to the outside first, jump in as you need to, okay? And you gotta understand the supermarkets are like very scientifically designed to get the person in there. We all know it. We still not immune to it. So play the game. That's where all the crap is. They got sweets loaded up by the checkouts because it's easy to snack them when you go in there. Think about all this stuff. Stop and think, make a decision, right? And if you buy it, you're gonna eat it. There's no doubt about it. There's no way that if you buy stuff, you're gonna be able to have the discipline not to eat it. Okay. So just think about how you buy stuff as well. And then talk about healthy recipes, like all this stuff. So in your nutrition blueprint, so all of our clients here who are going to watch us after and we're here today, in your training plan is a nutrition blueprint, and go into it. It is full of downloads and recipes and protein shake recipe powders, meal planners, the whole shebang. It's got a lot of videos about calories and nutrition and all those things. Okay, if you can't log in, tell us and we'll get you back in. But spend some time going through it, learn and like get some knowledge around it all, and it'll make your life easier. But ultimately, like, these things here are really good ways to find healthy recipes. There's lots, millions and millions and millions and millions. You just got to pick some. These books I found really good. So Jamie Oliver, I've got his 5-ingredient meal book upstairs, and it's 15-minute meals. And simple, 5 ingredients. I see I can track 5 ingredients. It's easy to do, and they're really nice. They taste nice as well. So just try that, and then you can change it to make it fit your own lifestyle. But ultimately, in the nutrition blueprint you've got access to, the meal creator, snack guide, protein powder recipes, fast food meals. If you want to go to McDonald's, there's a big massive PDF in there about, I think it's like 30 or 40 McDonald's and stuff in there that you can go. I'll tell you the calories on it, so that it's only 400 calories or 500 calories. So all that is in there as well. Okay, so you got you pretty much covered. And then again, I want you to take that action step. So if you haven't got this that booklet I just showed you, I'm going to pop it as downloads for both of you, both groups of people. The people that are on Facebook who jumped in, and the people who are clients that haven't got this yet, I'm going to put that in for you. All right. And then really that's it. So like, you can unmute yourselves if you want, and we can have a bit of a Q&As if you fancy it. Talk to you for some stuff. Or not.
I don't really have a question, but thank you. That was excellent.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good to get back to basics sometimes.
Yeah.
It was a really good refresher. Thank you, Gavin.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
There's some stuff in there too, actually. So, unfortunately, my son walked past with his stereo blaring, just at a crucial point where you said where all the additional information you're going to put it up. Where will I find that?
Additional information for the blueprint stuff.
The blue, is that all on my app? Is it?
Yeah. So that document I'll put in there in the group, so you can just download it. And then so, and then the nutrition blueprint is already in your profile. So when you go into your Trainerized profile, it's got like all the codes and stuff. There's a link for it in there.
Yeah.
I'll put that in there.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Anybody else?
No questions. It was great.
Good. All right, cool. But this is recorded 100%.
Yeah.
So I'll download it, and then I'll put it onto YouTube, and I'll give you the YouTube link. I'll pop it in there for you guys to have a refresher.
Yeah. Yes, it was a lot of information. So yes.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of information, I know, but that's cool. You can go back and revisit it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, guys. Well, you have a fantastic Saturday. in level red, and I will see you all around.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
See you guys. Bye bye.